Peters, and this is my audience. Can you guys guess what one of these balls is America's favorite pastime sport? This is a basketball, this is a football, this is a baseball. Now if you guess the middle one, that is football, you are correct. America's favorite pastime sport is football. Did you know that there was a form of football played by the Indians, or the Native Americans that used to live here? But the football as we know it today was actually started by the Europeans when they moved here in the 1700s in Jamestown, Virginia. They were the ones that are responsible for the game we know it as today. Now this football is one we play with today. It has laces, is more pointed, and doesn't look quite like a circle. Back in 1855, the first inflatable football was made, and it looked more like a basketball than a football as we know it today. But over the years, they perfected it into a way you can throw it and catch it better, and this is what it looks like today. Now, Walter Camp was the father of American football. He played football his whole life through high school and in college. And now when he was in college, he noticed that there was way too many injuries and way too many deaths on the field. So he, when he was a sophomore in college, sat down and started writing down some rules he thought that was necessary and needed. So he was the first person that was responsible for starting the rules of football. Now there is a Walter Foote Foundation in his honor, and all the American teams in the NFL right now still honor him today for all of his rules that he has made. Now back in 1887 was the first year that we had officials for this game to calm it down and call fouls and keep it under control. Now in 1887 we had two paid officials. One was a referee and one was an umpire. Now in 1889 the officials were given whistles and stopwatches. This was really handy for them, so they could actually blow the whistle and the players could hear them when they wanted the play to be ended. And they also had stopwatches to know how long the game is actually going on. These were two very handy tools. Now in 1905, President Theodore Roosevelt, he had two boys that were in college football, and that year there was 13 deaths on the field during a football game. So he said there needed to be changes made to the game where he would have football be ended. So now as we know it today, as the NFL, they sat down and started a board, and they came up with new rules and regulations and gear for football so they could end all the deaths and injuries that are in football. So that was the start of how the game started as we know it today. William Heavenfinger was the first paid player in the NFL. He made $500 a game, which that isn't very much today, but that was a lot back then. And I know all this because I played high school football, and now I've played 2 years of college football, and I've also looked up some stuff to give you on this speech. So that is how I am credited to know all this information. And this is my speech, and here's my audience.